Yes, everybody, welcome back to Talking Wolves. We're here for a brand new update video looking at the latest news surrounding Wolves and transfer rumours. I hope you guys are keeping well and safe. It's been a couple of weeks, or coming up to a couple of weeks since I did one of these, so a little bit of news for us to catch up on and have a look at. Before we kick off though, our channel partners over at Football Prizes have got another Wolves prize up for grabs this week. It's a signed Jose Sarr shirt alongside a number of other Wolves prizes as well. So a link to join that competition is in the top of the description down below. So let's jump into the news. A player has actually officially left Wolves this week without actually ever having to put on a Wolves shirt. It's the Korean forward Yongsan. Now, he was signed a year or so ago from the K-League, and it was, over in Korea, they really rated this player, and obviously at the time for Wolves, he went straight out on loan to Grasshoppers, obviously to see how he would progress and do. And he wasn't given a huge amount of starts in Switzerland. So there had been rumours brewing over the last few weeks or so that he was going to leave Wolves on a permanent basis, which was a little bit of a surprise. Minnesota were always the team that were linked with him, and Minnesota are the team that have completed the signing of him. So Wolves confirmed that this week. Despite obviously making 0 appearances, it was said that Wolves have made a significant financial return on the 20-year-old. It's been reported over in America that the fee is around $2.5 million, which equates to just over £2 million. So it's not a bad piece of business for Wolves at all, especially if they don't feel that he's obviously going to make the step up to, Premier League quality. So a player that's come in and come out, and I know it's frustrating, but this thing will happen. We saw it with Campana as well. Came in for a very small fee. I don't think he made a single appearance either, and then went on obviously to be sold into Miami. So yeah, we will see this more and more, and as a football club you have to obviously take advantage of things like this to grow as a team as well. Quite an interesting one that we spoke about last week by Fabrizio Romano, talking about Jeffrey Kondogbia, who's currently at Atletico Madrid. Appearances for him as of late have been restricted, but Fabrizio Romano had said that apparently in January, Wolves had approached Atleti to see if they could sign Jeffrey Kondogbia. It said now this summer that Premier League clubs are said to be monitoring his situation once again. If Wolves stay in the Premier League, that could well be one of the targets that the club look at to strengthen the midfield. I know at the moment, the future of most of our midfield is up in the air. Matinho, Nunes and Neves, 3 key midfielders for Wolves. Of course, we've got Boubacar Traore, we've got João Gomez, we've got Lamina. But it will still need a lot of steel and quality if one or all 3 of those players were ever to leave. So Jeffrey Kondogbia is definitely worth keeping our eye on. Another midfielder that Wolves have been linked to as well is Rani Kaidira. Now, he's the brother of former Real Madrid and Juventus midfielder Sami Kaidira, but he's currently playing for FC Union Berlin over in Germany. They're doing actually fairly well this season, to be fair, but he's going to be available on a free this summer. Apparently, Leicester and Newcastle are also interested in him. That came from Bild over in Germany. So we'll see. You tend to see, especially players in Europe, when their contracts are being run down, the agent likes to push these sort of stories to put more pressure on the club to give him a booster contract, basically. So we'll see what happens with that one. But I'm sure he has been linked with Wolves before, probably over 12 months ago. But I'm sure I've seen his name linked with Wolves previously. Dexter Lambert, of course, he's had chances in and around the first team this season. Not so much recently under Lopetegui, but Steve Davis really gave him a little bit of a run in. I say that Lopetegui gave him a couple of chances, didn't he, in January? He played in the FA Cup. But it said that Wolves are probably going to be open to letting him go out on loan this summer. Liam Keane from the Express and Star wrote this story. Burton Albion over in League One are one of the teams quite closely monitoring his situation right now. League One, high level, I think would be a decent move for him. maybe squeeze to the Championship if you can find the right sort of team. But for players that haven't really left the club before, are still very young, you need to find the right level for them without putting a huge amount of pressure on them, just so they can grow and develop as players. But he, at this stage of his career, a little bit similar to Chem Campbell, probably needs senior men's football to grow as a player, because he's not going to do it playing for the 21s or sat on the Wolves bench right now. Quite a big story in regards to Fosun at the moment. It was reported on, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday, that they reportedly were set to meet the owners of KV Oostende this week, who are a Belgian club towards the bottom of the Belgian Pro League at the moment, to discuss potential investment in the Belgian club. Now, it had been followed up recently by the Express and Star that said Fosun are looking to increase their portfolio of clubs. We're predominantly looking at teams in Belgium and Netherlands for now. Of course, Wolves have tried it before. We've got the Grasshoppers link, but Fosun don't directly own them. We tried the whole thing with FC Jumia as well. You may remember a number of years ago, who were a third division Spanish side. It went dreadfully. So Wolves are looking to try and invest in a sort of established club right now. Early days, as it's just sort of early preliminary talks. So we'll wait and see if any clubs come and join the Fosun portfolio. Now, we're looking at international break. Obviously, Ryan Aït-Nouri has made his debut for Algeria. He made that a couple of days ago. And they got a 2-1 win. He played in the defence, obviously. An interesting one for Aït-Nouri, because it's been a long time. He's been linked with possibly changing. Of course, he's French nationality, and a lot of players who are French can go on to play for Algeria as well. And that's obviously who he's gone for and picked, and obviously made his debut in a win. And I think he's due to play, or at least Algeria are due to play again in the next day or so. So we'll see if he gets a win there. And then we've had some interesting comments as well from Fabio Silva. He's been speaking quite a lot to the Dutch press currently about his loan move at PSV. Been a number of things that he said. One is that he wouldn't mind staying at PSV next season to continue his development. Obviously, he's very happy with how things are going right now. But he also said that apparently he had no control over his move from Porto to Wolves. He said because of the amount of money Wolves were obviously willing to pay, Porto couldn't really refuse it, and Fabio Silva couldn't really refuse it. So that is why the move came to fruition. He also said that he's learned to ignore comments about his transfer fee, and he's young, and as he was young and playing time at Wolves was limited. He commented on sort of his goals and assists per minute ratio. I think mainly because of last season he didn't actually score a goal for Wolves, but when you look at the amount of minutes that he played, obviously that's a little bit more understandable. But he's doing really well at the moment. Had a good start of the season at Anderlecht. He's moved to PSV and starting to flourish there. And obviously they're still competing in the league and in the cup. So we'll wait and see. Of course, I would like to see Fabio come back to Wolves, but if he's not going to be a starter and he's not going to have a huge amount of game time, I don't think he'll want to return. So it's quite a difficult situation for Wolves to be in right now. If they were to list him on the transfer market, though, for argument's sake, I don't think you'd get the amount of money that you paid for him, and that's what Wolves will be looking for, really. So another year for him, out on loan. Could it be beneficial? But it, again, completely depends on Wolves' situation and where we are as a club in the next 2 or 3 months or so, because obviously being in the Premier League will be a huge factor for that. Do let me know your thoughts, guys, on today's news anyway. Be sure to hit the like button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. And international break this week will be over. We'll return over the next few days or so to give you the pre-Nottingham Forest content. A huge game for Wolves this Saturday, so fingers crossed we can get 3 points. Until then, though, guys, look after yourselves, and I'll see you all very, very soon.